Hey there and welcome back to my channel. So today I was actually asked to collab on a video, so I'm here. This was Emmy's World of Fragrance. I will link her channel in the description box below, but she asked me to be a part of this collab, and there's actually two more channels that have taken part in this. It is Spicy Looks and Maria Colette. So the idea was that we would talk about the most challenging fragrances that we have in our collection, and the way I kind of interpreted that personally for my video is I wanted to choose fragrances that I'm still interested in wearing, that I'm still excited about wearing, and that I'm still trying to wear, but that are proving to be challenging, rather than ones that I just actually don't like. I know that I don't like, and yeah, they're challenging in that I don't really know how I'm gonna finish them, and I'm probably just gonna end up spraying them like on cushions and stuff, or letting my friends borrow them. But these are ones that I actually was interested in, and I'm hoping I can still find a way to wear, but they're just proving to be challenging. And yeah, we will get into it. I have 8. If you're visiting from one of the lovely ladies' channels to my channel, then welcome, and I hope you'll subscribe and you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. So let's get into it. The first one's actually one of the more recent fragrances I've picked up, and it's Love Potion. I think that's what it's called. I will put the name here. I think it's Love Potion or something like that by The Merchant of Venice. And this was what I was really looking forward to. And I have to say, note-wise, it just did not match up to what I was thinking it was going to be. It is so spiced and cinnamony and herbal. It actually matches a lot more to what the bottle looks like. It kind of, yeah, it really evokes that feel. It's very, yeah, it's very spicy and deep, and it's got like, it gives a lot of cinnamon off on my personal skin. I get none of that violet, which was one of the main things, one of the main notes that was listed and one of the main reasons why I picked it up. And I was just always really interested in trying out the Merchant of Venice, and this just was not, it's not a bad fragrance. And honestly, there are times where I can truly appreciate the beauty of it, even though it's not my cup of tea. So I'm definitely still trying to wear it and see how I like it. There's like a level of carnation to it as well. Again, I don't think it's in the notes, but I do get some of that carnation. It's just more spiced and rich than I was expecting or that I usually wear, but I'm really, really trying to like this. So I just think right now, season-wise, it's not the best for this particular fragrance, and I'm gonna try to do my best to kind of really try it out in fall and winter. We get plenty of cold weather here in Canada, so hopefully that'll make me like it. Maybe I can try to find a way to layer it. I am still working on that layering video. That one's gonna take a long time because I really want it to be as thorough as possible. I still haven't found anything that this layers well with personally. It smells kind of similar to the Prada, the Infusion de Fes Prada, the Carnation one. Smells kind of similar to this. But yeah, I just wish it was either way more like what I was expecting, because then it would be an easy wear, and if not, I just wish it had a little more sweetness to it, because otherwise I'm just finding it a little bit too difficult to wear personally on my skin. Though my skin really overpronounces cinnamon, so maybe that's why, and it also overpronounces like spices, and that's why I tend to like more powdery, warm, softer fragrances, because everything just kind of amplifies when it's something too rich or deep personally. But yeah, that is, I think it's Love Potion, but again, the name isn't listed here. So yeah, it's by the Merchant of Venice, and that is my first pick. Then on the totally opposite side of the spectrum, there's also a very light, watery, aquatic fragrance that I'm just finding super challenging to wear personally, and that is Ralph Lauren Blue. I was really, really looking forward to this, very much so. And it was Beauty Meow who just, like, every time she talked about it, it got me interested, and then it was like very hard to find for a while. I couldn't find it, and then not only did I find it, but I found it on an incredible deal. Now you can find it easier on these Canadian websites, but it's It's a lot more expensive than when I picked it up. So I just felt like it was, I don't know, it was like kismet, and I was so excited, and I was actually kind of angry at myself that I got the smaller bottle, the 75 ml. I think it gets bigger than this. Maybe it doesn't, but I don't know. There is something about this, and I've talked about it before. There's something about the lotus in this that even in the bottle, now I've just gotten like so sensitive to that note or whatever that accord is that I can even smell it in the bottle. At first it was just, you know, after a couple minutes or maybe after 10 minutes, but there was something in it that just smells like murky and kind of sweaty is the best way I can put it. There is a lot of it that I do like, and I wish it would just only lean in that way. But I think it's the lotus, because lotus has a tendency to do that in some of my other fragrances as well. It just gets murky, a little sweaty, and yeah, it kind of ruins the rest of the fragrance for me. It's not a total fail. This is easier for me to wear than this, personally, but there is an element to this that just is not my favorite. And again, like right now I feel like it's okay. Maybe in like 10 minutes it'll pick up again. Out of the bottle I can kind of smell it. There's just something about it. Everything else about it I think is really nice and fresh and aquatic and really pretty, but yeah, there's just something about this that I'm finding challenging, even though I really, really did want to love it. Then one that is kind of polarizing in and of itself, and I waited for so long. I really thought against picking this up for so long, and now that I have it, I kind of feel like I probably should have not given into the hype. But one of the things that really drew me to it near the end was it was just described as being kind of plasticky, and I do like that note. I probably sprayed too much. It is a powerhouse. I will have to say, this really, like, now my room will smell like this. It does last a very, very, very long time. So if you don't like it, that's also challenging. One of you mentioned that it kind of smells like pineapple candy, and that's very true. Like, it's got a very screechy note to it, and I couldn't really place what that was because pineapple isn't one of the notes, but it is. It's a very synthetic, screechy pineapple. There is something about it that just kind of like, it feels as though it's like burning inside your nose, and it's just a little too sharp. And at the start, I was like, okay, there's something interesting. Like, my first impression, I was like, it's unique. The first week I was trying it, I was like, it's definitely unique. And it's become one of those fragrances that the more I smell, the less I like. And it's very interesting, like just smelling it one off. Maybe if I had a decant, it would be interesting, and like I might be intrigued. I haven't smelled it in a while, so it's actually like, I suppose, very semi-nice to smell it again. But I just wouldn't want to smell like this. It just, I don't know, there's something too screechy and loud and not plasticky in the way I was thinking, at least. So definitely not for me. I don't think this is kind of like a crowd pleaser fragrance, but I do think it's very, very unique. So that is Gucci Rush. I don't even know if I mentioned it, but that's Gucci Rush. Then one that I was so disappointed by, because I really felt like note-wise and everything-wise it would be totally up my alley, but this is Bond Number 9, and I think this is Madison Soirée. This one is a very, I'm trying to see where I should spray now. It's a very aldehydic fragrance, and it was aldehydic in a soapy way, which usually is totally up my alley, as I say. But there is just, it's like maybe 5 steps too far into the aldehydes. I don't think it's impossible for me to wear. I am still trying. I tried to layer it with some fragrances where it didn't work at all. So I really will have to try to figure out a way to layer it that it works well. But yeah, the only way I can describe it is if you like aldehydic soapy fragrances, you might like this, but you have to be into sharp aldehydes as well. the sharpness in this just takes it 5 steps too far. If it could have just been a little bit more toned down. I do like the soapiness to it, and I feel like it's really nice. I don't think Madison Soirée is a good name for it, because this seems like a very daytime fragrance. It's very clean. It's very soapy and kind of like clean skin, white bar soap, and then kind of like a very white, rich moisturizer on clean skin. That's what it smells like. It's just, yeah, a touch too much. So I'm finding it challenging, but I am, you know, I have put some dent into it, and I am trying to wear it. So that's Madison Soirée by Bond number 9. All right, so the next one is actually one that I've been trying to love for a very long time, and that is Poison by Dior. And this one, like right now, out of the bottle, I'll just spray it here. There's always been something that I do really like about this, and in equal measure, something that I don't. There is a grapiness to it, and I think there's plum in this, so there's like a grapey, grape juiceness to it that I really like, and it's also that same plum, fruity, like deep fruit, deep like plum, purple fruitness to it that I don't like. And it's very strange because it's the exact same note. The opening of that note, I adore, and as it starts to stay on the skin, it just, I don't love it, and then the dry down's okay as well. It's also very, very strong. I need to try it a little bit more in colder weather again, because I feel like I kind of ignored it in the cold weather, and then I started picking it back up again in spring and summer, and that just wasn't the time for Poison to shine. So I will try it again this fall and winter, because there is something, I don't think this will ever be like my everyday fragrance. There is an element to it that's definitely dated, not in a bad way, but it's definitely dated. And it's not 100% ever going to be my, you know, ride or die. But there is something about this I like, and it's not one that personally I feel is good for layering. So I will just have to see where and how and what temperature, what mood I can like this, because there is an element to it that is actually really nice, the fruitiness of it and the richness, and then something of it just, it kind of, the one description I can give is like when it just steps a little bit too far into smelling like bug spray, like off bug spray, it gets a little too much for me. And it kind of just smells like camping, being in the woods, and dousing yourself in bug spray on top of like a semi-nice plum kind of fragrance. And that, I think, is what's really putting me off, is that once you think about that and you kind of have that on your mind and you pick that up in the fragrance, it's hard to disassociate it with that bug spray scent. So that is Poison by Dior. Then we will move on to Champs-Elysees, and this is the Eau de Parfum by Guerlain. There is something, again, there is something I really, really like about this, and there's also something that's just, again, it's dated. It kind of reminds me of older relatives of mine. I think I've even said that, but, you know, used to wear this. But that isn't what's turning me off. There's just like a watery fruitiness to this. Maybe, I think there's melon in this. I think it's the melon that's just turning me off. Otherwise, the florals, I think it's really nice. It's actually got like a vintage feel to it, which I think is beautiful. But I think it's that melon that just makes it, I'm not even a huge fan of actual melon, so I definitely don't want to smell like one. And it's, yeah, it's got like this kind of honeydew cantaloupe feel to it that just pushes me one step too far. So I don't mind having this. This was very inexpensive, and it's just kind of nice to have in my Guerlain collection, but I don't think this is ever going to be a fragrance where I'm reaching for it every day. And then the last two, they kind of go hand in hand, if only because I really picked them up, especially because of the violet factor. Because if you guys don't know, I love violet, and both of these, I'll talk about this one first, Halloween by J Del Pozo, but now I think it's just Halloween. This one, I don't think I have anything. Oh, I do have one of these scent sprays. Great. This one, I'd heard so many good things about it, especially if you like violet. And you know what? Today, actually, I haven't sprayed this in a very long time because when I got it, I really tried to like it. You can see a little bit, there was a dent. And I was just, you know, like really real with myself one day and told myself, you know, you don't like this, try other things. Today, it's not that bad. On this scent strip, it's not that bad. Maybe, this is what I mean. Sometimes you just need to give yourself a break with a fragrance and then come back and you'll like it. I will try to wear this one again because it's not, what was originally turning me off to it, and the reason why it's still not my favorite, is there is an aquaticness to this fragrance that I feel like greatly overpowers the violet, and it makes it more, and there's a fruitiness to it. It's just not as violet centric as I was hoping. But yeah, on the strip right now, it's not that bad, so I will try to wear this again. This one isn't one where it's like horrible and truly having a hard time wearing it. I think I just went into it with a lot more hype and a lot more expectation of violet, and it really just isn't that. The other one, this is Violet Diamonds, or Diamond Violet, I always forget that, by Versace. Oh, by Armani, sorry. And this one, I'll just spray on the other end. This one, however, I'm really having a hard time. It's very strong, and not in a violet way. I feel like the more I spray this, I also like it less and less. And the less and less I actually get violet out of it. Yeah, I really am not enjoying this. This also kind of burns the inside of the nose a little bit, and it's really not my favorite. I kind of went into this the opposite of Halloween. I went into this expecting it to be a little bit of a dud, and unfortunately it was. So this is just going to be one where it's not horrible. I'll, you know, wear it over time to kind of finish it up, but I never really am going to see myself picking this up over and over again, and I couldn't personally recommend it to anyone, really. I just don't think it's doing enough of anything to be really a standout. So that's Diamonds Violet, and those are my most challenging fragrances. Thank you again to Emmy for asking to collab, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!